I want to show you 5 ways I'm using Claude in my business to actually directly or indirectly make more money and make things faster and easier for me. A lot of people use Claude and ChatGPT and other tools just for like content ideas or writing content that actually sounds like AI, but I want to show you the real use cases, not something I read on the internet or that AI gave me, but actual real use cases that I'm using in my business and how it ties to making me more money. So let's start with the use case number 1. So I think you can't get true power of Claude unless you have an app. So if you don't have it, you can just type something like this, Claude app download, pick Windows or Mac and download it for your computer, and it will look something like this. And you can toggle here at the top between Chat, Cowork and Code. Now, Cowork is going to be probably the most interesting for a lot of people because with Claude Cowork, it actually has access to your computer, it can run code, it can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So I want to show you a couple of actual use cases of how I'm using Cowork to save time, make more money, and so on and so forth. So one example is I'm having calls with my clients, right? Now I download these things into a folder, and what's really cool is with Claude Cowork, you can actually pick that folder, right? So let's say you have a call with your clients, you download 20, 30, 50 calls, and Claude can actually read through this. So you just come and you run prompt, hey, pull out the most common pain points my avatar has. Pull out the most frequent pain points my ideal avatar has. And I've done it, right? And it tells you not based on like random research or whatever, but actually what your clients are stuck with. And that's much more powerful, again, than doing some random research. Then I said, hey, what are the good things they said about me? Let's turn it into testimonials. Because many times on the calls, people like, oh, this is awesome. I learned so much. Oh, thanks to you, I did that. Now I can turn that into an asset and put it on my web pages. And I've done that as well, where I ask Claude to analyze what are the good things they say, and I can use it in my marketing, which makes you more money. I use it to help me create content pieces because there are many interesting things on the calls that maybe I don't remember. So Claude pulls it for me and I can turn it into a content piece. Content piece gets me more eyeballs, which gets me more money, right? So I want to show you another one. I have this scheduled task, which is another new feature, relative new feature that they introduced. So I, for example, have my AI marketing news that I'm using. And how is this making me money? Every Monday, Claude researches the most important relevant news for my ideal avatar and for myself. So I can run here and it tells me what's new, what's relevant, and helps me turn it into content pieces, which gets me more eyeballs, saves me time because I don't need to research, gives me angles and ideas for content, and I turn that into pieces of content and get more views, opt-ins, and again, consequently, more money. Now, it can also analyze a lot of your documents. So I had like multiple documents that brought me like thousands of dollars. So I downloaded them, again, gave access to Claude with a folder. It analyzed the patterns, and now, instead of me starting a new sales doc from scratch, I take based on that template and it builds me that doc in literally like a couple of minutes. So there are many use cases with the Claude Cowork. Let me know in the comments if you want me to record video more in depth about just this feature. And in the meantime, I'll show you probably my favorite use cases and probably the most underrated one, which are Claude Skills. Now, if you have been using Claude, you know about them, but how do they actually make you money? They can do it in multiple ways. First, we need to understand that time is money. So if you make about $10, $20, $50 an hour and something saves you an hour, that made you indirectly $50. Now, if it saves you 5 or 10 hours, you see how fast this can go. Not to mention, it's not just time, but maybe it takes mental capacity and energy to do a task. And if you outsource it to AI, the repetitive task, it saves you time, energy, and makes you more money, especially if that task is related to money. So it makes it like that on steroids. So I have many skills, and actually just in the last 3 days, I was building a lot of skills. I think you can see it here. Yeah, lead magnet, yeah, delivery and thank you page skill, copy skill. So what these actually do, so let me show you this. Yeah, these are all the skills, landing page copy. So this built me a entire skill that follows basically the way I build my landing pages to get over 40-50% opt-in rate, and I turn it into a skill, repetitive skill. So you can again see how much time, energy it saves and makes me money, right? Because now, instead of me having to come up with landing page copy from scratch, I build this skill into Claude Cowork, as you can see here. But this can be across your Claude account. And now, when I'm building a new lead magnet, I just tell Claude, hey, this is the lead magnet I'm building. This is the whatever name, use case. Give me a landing page copy for it. And it will give me copy exactly by the framework that I taught it in this skill. And that is it. It's going to take me 2 minutes, right? Where before it would maybe take me an hour. And it would still be better. Now, guess what? I build this for delivery page. I build this for thank you page as well. So now it creates copy for 3 different pages in minutes, right? But I took it a step further and I built skill that also builds the actual landing page for me, right? Like it asks me a couple of questions because it's going to be like a new lead magnet each time. And it helps me turn it into an actual landing page. So it creates copy for me, it creates landing page for me, and I'm turning it into an entire small factory where I just have an idea, or even ask Claude to give me an idea, and I run the prompt, and it just uses all the skills, and it does this for me. So this is like incredibly powerful, as you can imagine. This is honestly one of my favorite use cases. Now, what I just showed you is just like the landing page skill. I have skill where it writes in my voice or close to it. I have skill where it has my entire assembly line process of Facebook. Because like on Facebook, if I'm creating a post, it starts with an idea. I need to validate the idea. Then there is like a raw draft. Then I edit it. Then, okay, now I want to post it. But what is going to be a hook? What is going to be a CTA? What is going to be a picture? What's going to be hook on the picture? There are all these different things. Well, guess what? I have Claude skill that does multiple of these things or one of these things. And I just run it and it tells me like, hey, these are good hooks for your Facebook post. These are good CTAs. This kind of picture you should use. All the processes that you use again and again in your business, like every week, especially every day, you can turn into skills and then just run it through Claude. And it saves you time. It makes you money. It is like the most beautiful thing in the world. And again, I actually use it and actually save time and I actually make more money in my business thanks to it. Now, use case number 3 is something that I do see some people may be using it, and I found Claude to be really good at it, often even better than other chatbots. And that is basically to use it as my coach, strategist, etc., where we go back and forth. I have new idea and I'm running it through. Just this week I had this really cool idea and I was like not sure on it. So I went back and forth with Claude in a strategic way. And it helped me think through an idea. And for this, I do recommend using Opus, probably 4.6, because 4.7, unless you're on a max plan, which I'm not, is going to eat through credits a lot. Even Opus 4.6 eats your credits fast, but still you can manage to do it. And it's really good for that in-depth thinking. So it really helped me outline these ideas. And I remember the first time I used it, it helped me map out the entire thing, which later turned into multiple 5-figure project thanks to it. Now I can't put all the credit to it, but it definitely helped assist and push it in the right direction where I turned that project into multiple 5 figures. Now let's go to the use case number 4. Because of its higher thinking power, another really cool thing you can do that will save you time, stop you from guessing, and make you more money is where you put your competitors' sales pages, landing pages, etc., run it to Claude or ask it to research it for you to extract patterns, to see what problems are they solving, how are they doing the solution. So it does all the things for me, and it helps me to position my own offer. It helps me to find gaps. It helps me to find viral videos. It helps me to find what's working right now. So again, once you can skip the guesswork and a lot of manual time, I found this to be one of the most powerful use cases that I've had with Claude so far. You can see, actually I just see in this chat, watch and analyze YouTube videos. So you can analyze also YouTube videos, draw patterns, and turn them into skills. This is another way I use this strategy where I can take multiple YouTube videos or processes that they use in the videos and turn them into skills. And again, I use this with Claude. So you can also see how you can stack these things together. I use one way where maybe I brainstorm with Claude the strategy, then I use their research and comparison and pattern analysis, and then I turn it into a skill. So I'm stacking these things, which makes it, again, even more powerful. Now, finally, use case number 5 is Claude Code, and I've been using this the longest, for over a year. Not necessarily this Claude Code here, this is something I recently started using, but even before, when I would need code for my landing page or a sales page or thank you page or a mini app, I would use Claude models, whether directly in the Claude, where I can just ask it to code me something, or for example, I use a lot of GenSpark, and when I pick coding models, I usually pick Claude and it codes me whatever I want over here. So I've been using Claude to generate code for, again, anything from landing pages, which got me hundreds and hundreds of opt-ins, leads, later money, sales pages that also generated real revenue, mini apps that saved me time, that got me leads, so all different ways. So I think to this day, Claude is probably the most superior model in coding. You don't always need to use like 4.7 unless you're building something huge. But for small things, for us as like coaches, affiliates, business owners, you can build small useful apps. Again, landing pages, thank you pages, sales pages, all this other stuff. And I think you will get much more done. So this is another actual real use case of how I'm using Claude to save more time and make more money. Now, real quick, if you're interested in how you can get more leads and more clients in your business by using AI, I have a free 15-minute video that walks you through it, so just check the first link in the description. Now back to the video. And I'm gonna give you one last bonus one, which is called plugins. So you can view plugins as bundle of skills plus MCPs put together, and they're pretty powerful. So I gave you an example earlier, and by the way, you can do this, I think, only in Cowork. So you do need a paid plan, but I showed you that I'm building like different copy skills, different landing, thank you pages, building skills. These are like 6, 7, 8 different skills, but I can put them all into plugins, give it access to tools, and then I call the plugin and it does all the things at once for me. So orchestrating this, and it can become really powerful. I've done it with Facebook. Again, I take multiple skills and it does things for me. So it's super, super powerful use case. If you do have paid Claude, I do recommend building a lot of plugins, as they will help save more time and make you more money. Let me know below what's your favorite out of these use cases. Have you used any of those? Do you have any that I didn't mention, maybe way in which you use Claude to make more money, save more time? Feel free to share it with us. And in the meantime, if you want, check the video on how I'm getting 5, 10, 15 plus quality leads a day on Facebook without paying for